Hey guys, sorry I keep on having to redo these intros. I'm still learning the software. I added it in the incorrect intro, so I'm redoing this intro for this video. Essentially what we're going to be going over today is the Chia Farmer-only install. And there's a lot of information out there. I don't know if it's all correct, and I feel like there's certain aspects of the Chia infrastructure that people have latched onto that it may not be the actual intended purpose as per the documentation of the Chia developers themselves. So we're going to go through a few things on the Chia Farmer-only install and what a farmer specifically does and why it's more beneficial to have multiple farmers versus multiple harvesters, yada, yada, yada. Let's go into the intro. Okay, so this is the first time that I've done a screen sharing for a video, so bear with me. What I'm going to be going over today is one of the things that is on the Chia website is about farmers. Now, I've looked at all their documentation, or most of it, and it seems as though the farmers are equivalent to the Bitcoin miners, which is a highlight here that I already have. So this is actually from their website. I'll post the link in the description below. This is on their architecture setup. So my thought process on this is if the farmers are like the miners or Ethereum miners, meaning if they're like each GPU that is constantly just mining and getting ready for rewards, then us having multiple farmer-only installs would increase that chance or better the speed of which we are receiving the rewards. So it says here, Chia's farmers are analogous to Bitcoin miners. They earn block rewards and fees by trying to create valid blocks before anyone else. So in that statement there, it says that a farmer is trying to create the valid block from your plots. So if you have multiple farmers that are going to different plots, then the better. So farmers don't maintain a copy of the blockchain, but they trust a full node to provide the updates. So what that means is basically the full node is the centralized server, and you can have multiple farmers that are validating the blocks. So the farmer-only install doesn't take a lot of CPU or RAM. It just basically connects with the full node continuously to verify the blocks that are on the harvester. Now, a harvester is something different, which we're going to go into in a little bit, but I think there's a lot of misconception as to how to set this up architecturally from a network standpoint. A farmer-only install is an additional miner for your Chia. So farmers communicate with the harvesters, and a harvester is actually, it's not written here, but a harvester is actually only supposed to be on the node that is hosting the plots. So if you have one big server that hosts all of your plots, which most people will have because I mean it takes a lot to fill up multiple servers. I have a centralized storage server, which I'm going to go through here in a little bit. You only require one harvester per plot storage, and I'll show you that documentation shortly. So a farmer communicates with the harvester, individual machine that actually stores the plots. So that's what the harvester is for. You don't need multiple harvesters if you don't have several locations of plot storages. Most people have them in one location, so you only need one harvester through the harvester protocol. The full node and the farmer communicate through the farmer's protocol. Okay, we'll go through all this stuff in a minute. Users who want a solo farm can run the farmer, harvester, full node, blah, blah, blah. Yes, okay, so solo farmers typically just want to have one install on one computer with their storage and all of their services in one. Most solo farmers won't have multiple computers left and right. They might have a separate plotter, but you don't really need that on the on your network as a separate entity, unless you do what I'm doing, which is creating every single computer I have as a standalone farmer, because it doesn't take any resources. It just verifies and it connects to your full node. Farmers operate by waiting for updates from a full node. That's fine. You should only have one full node, which gives them a new challenge hash every new block is created. Farmers then ask all harvesters, so if you only have one harvester, it just asks that single harvester for proof of space qualities, because that harvester is actually located directly on the server that is hosting the plots. These qualities, based on iterations formula, result in an expected block time. The farmer can choose to fetch the full proofs of space for those proofs which are expected to finish soon. So basically, if you have multiple farmers, they will be able to continuously verify which proofs are expected to finish soon. And it will go to the farmer that is basically checking at that given time. So it could be a span of within 30 seconds, but if you have multiple farmers, each farmer is going to be checking in different sequences. So at 15 seconds, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever. Have a farmer on every single computer that you own to finish soon for the harvesters. The full proofs can be propagated to the full nodes or sent to the pool as partials. Okay, so the next thing we're going to go to on their website, I'll go to the website, but I'm just going to verify that this is recording because I've never done this before. So I'm going to pause here, check it out, and then probably resume. Okay, so that seemed to have worked. I didn't just waste all my breath. Okay, so this is actually on the Chia website here. So this is their network architecture. Now, this diagram is a little bit misleading. And one of the things I really want to point out, online, typically people will flood to whatever the most common or the first thing that is spoken. So if you watch a Reddit thread, the first comment on the Reddit thread usually spawns thousands of other comments just on that one comment. And this is kind of what I feel has happened here. So Chia has posted out their network architecture, and I am a network admin, so this is how I review it. And I would definitely like you guys to kind of explain to me a little bit more about what your thought process is on this. So they have mentioned several times in the full nodes that you only need one full node on your internal network. Each full node will communicate with an external full node. So these are not on your internal networks. These are peer-to-peer protocols. If you have multiple full nodes on your internal servers, you need to disable the UNPN functionality, which is the peer protocol, internally from full node to full node. And you shouldn't actually have multiple full nodes on your environment because they have to constantly resync with the blockchain. So typically you will have one full node internally that hosts all the services. This diagram is indicating that these are external here. Your full node will communicate with your internal wallet as well as other exterior full nodes going by UNPN protocol here to those other nodes. They will also connect to a separate time lord, which is the blockchain overall time lord verification. So if you don't have your date and time configured correctly, you will have real issues syncing with the blockchain because it doesn't match up with your location and the time lord that's on the blockchain. So that's where a lot of people's syncing times will actually come down really slow because it doesn't jive with, I'm in Eastern time zone, my computer's in Eastern time zone, it says I should be 9:30 p.m. Instead, the time lord is saying that it needs to be 8:30 p.m. But anyway, so it takes a little bit longer to verify. Electron GUI, doesn't matter. Anyway, so the local network, you should have your wallet and your full node, your farmer and harvester all in one install. The pools are completely separate. It's irrelevant at this point. They don't exist. in terms of the API. So now what I want to get through here is this is what has created a misconception of their actual definitions. People look at this and say you only need one farmer talking to multiple harvesters, and so we have multiple harvesters. This is actually incorrect if you read the actual documentation. So we just went through the farmer's documentation, and now we're just going to go through a quick thing on the harvesters. Harvesters are individual machines controlled by a farmer. Okay, so the harvester is going to be controlled by however many farmers that you have. In a large farming operations, a farmer may connect to many harvesters. The reason for that, and that's why they have it here, but it's kind of misleading, the reason for that is because each harvester on a large environment is going to be having several different plots. This harvester is going to have multiple plots, this harvester is going to have multiple plots, this harvester is going to have multiple plots. It doesn't change the fact that the actual farmer is the miner. So you have harvesters and farmers. Now, one of the things, finally, harvesters also maintain the private key for each plot because they are located on that plot storage space. This private key actually gives a sign of the block, allowing farmers to actually control the contents of the block. So again, farmers/harvesters, only because it's going to be located on the actual server that's hosting the plots, but it's basically allowing farmers to control the contents of the block. So having multiple farmers, not just one, having multiple farmer-only installs is actually beneficial. Now, if you have, now the way I've set it up is, this is how I have mine set up, and this is a really shitty diagram. Hold on, let me just pull up the actual picture here. I'll probably cut this out. Yada yada yada. Where is my, here? Okay, this is what I wanted. All right, here we are. We're back to this. So this is how I have mine configured, and I'm gonna pull up my Chia configuration for you in a second. I have one full node install, which automatically has your wallet, your farmer, your harvester, and it's synced to the blockchain. Doesn't really matter about the specs, but these are my specs. I also have all my storage on here, 60 terabytes of storage. I have 40 right now. I'm going to be putting in an extra 20. This is then connected to my plotter specific installs, which are not harvesters. These do not host any of my plots. All my plots are going to be located here. So this plotter can also second as a farmer because it's going to be connecting directly to the full node to verify, again, to verify the blockchain rewards. The more farmers I have, they trust the full node to provide updates. The more farmers I have will be able to verify these fees faster. So we're just going to go back to my little diagram here. So I have 3 plotter/farmers plus the full node. And as well, I also have my other computer, which is also a farmer-only install. Now I only have one plot that I'm farming right now because I'm waiting for pools. But what I want to show you right now is my Chia. So this is my full node here. It's synced. This is my full node status. Now if you take a look at the connections to my full node, you're going to see a bunch of internal farmer IPs. Now I'll send out the link at the bottom for my script that I created that just spins up the farmer only service without having a PowerShell GUI. It's basically just running in the background like so. So you can see here I have a farmer service. It takes up 37 megs of stuff, barely any CPUs. But this computer here is .26, and if we scroll down, here we go. .26 is connected to my full node. I also have .28, .14, and .27, plus the local host farmer, which is installed with the full node. having multiple farmers is actually better for your time to finish the verification of your, what do they call it here? Whatever. The verification of, let's take a look at it, blocks and block rewards and fees. Okay, so they earn the blocks and rewards. Having multiple farmers actually benefits this. And if you have other computers that are just sitting there, there's no reason not to have a farmer-only install set up and running on that computer in the background, because it's going to continuously check your harvester, and it's going to also continually check the full node for the blockchain rewards. Here we go. Communicate with harvesters, which are the ones that individually store the plots. So again, this is a little bit misleading, this architecture setup. I prefer to show it, I don't have it here anymore. No, okay, so this is not what I wanted. Anyways, this is kind of how I have it set up. Farmer, 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 full node, and everything else in my environment, plus my computers that are not plotting, are farmers, because they're continuously communicating with the full node and the harvester, my single harvester. Anyways, so if you take a look at my verification times, they're all being verified through all of these farmers that I have. And I think, and I would like it if somebody could intelligibly tell me why people are not doing this, because it seems to me from the documentation that they stated here on this website, which I'll post, is the farmers are the ones that are updating from the full node, which the full node gives them the challenges, and the farmers then verify with whatever harvester. If you have one or two, that's fine. The more farmers, the better. So anyways, I just wanted to get through this real quick, because I've been trying to look for the answers online, and it's just, I think people are just kind of seeing the first thing, seeing a diagram like this, and then trying to map their setup like this. And I don't think that's what Chia actually intended. If you read what each service does, kind of gives you a better idea of how to set it up. So as a network architect, this is how I'm setting it up. I have, let's see here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 farmers, and 1 full node, and that's all I'm going to have. The rest I'm going to have are just plotting, and then they're going to move, once they're done plotting on their NVMEs, it's going to copy it directly through the network to my storage, and that's the harvester. So let me know what you think. I think I'm right, but I could be completely wrong. Unfortunately, I need an architect, networking architect, as well as somebody who's actually understood and read this, not just looked at this, or not just looked at other people's setups because they have them that way. So let me know in the comments, and I just wanted to get this out there and ask the question, because I've tried Discord, I've tried Reddit, and nobody actually seems to understand the wording and the verbiage of what a farmer is, why it's there, and if you have multiple farmers, it's actually a benefit. Okay, with that said, I'm gonna upload this. Thanks everybody. This is my first screen share thing, so maybe we'll do this in the future, but thanks a lot, happy farming, and Chia later.